Welcome once again, everybody, to another exciting episode of The Push, starring your stars of the show. Well, I am your co-host, Dom
Oh,
Mowen, with your star of the show, the owner, the boss, the jefe of BODYSLAM.net, Cassidy Haynes.
I would consider you the host, and I'm just the sidekick at this point, really.
Uh,
You quarterback this thing, bro. I just chime in, and I'm just here for comic relief.
I like being like the VP, the wartime consigliere.
Well, that's
The
fine, yeah. But as far as the show goes, you're pretty much the one that you steer it. You steer the boat.
we
Well,
need a,
I can captain the ship, but you're the guy that pilots the boat or pilots the plane, right, or whatever.
Am I
However this
the?
works.
Are you the
I
captain to
fucking
my Tennille Dashwood?
Lou, how did we ever figure out if Captain Lou is available?
I haven't. I'm sorry.
I didn't Google if he's dead. Is he dead?
That's on you, man. You made that claim,
I don't
and you
know.
had all.
Should I Google it?
Yeah, Google it.
Is Siri? Yeah, no, that's not. Is Captain Lou dead? Hang on, I'm typing it in. Captain
While you're
Lou.
doing that, I'm actually in Studio B right now, which is why I have the
Uh
push
oh.
behind me.
Bad
Passed
news.
away.
Yeah, a long time ago.
That's what I
2009.
thought.
Yeah,
I kind of figured.
2009. Yeah.
So now you got to apologize.
To Captain Lou. He
Well,
doesn't
to
deserve it.
anybody who was offended by.
Oh, if anybody's offended by me not knowing Captain Lou's dead, I'm going to pretend to apologize to you right now. No, I'm sorry. I don't. Wait.
You know
Yes,
what?
I am sorry. I didn't know that. I should know this. I should know who's dead at all times.
Well, if you have some animosity towards Cass, I have some good news because the
This is why
two
I'm salty.
hundred
This is why
and
I'm mad.
ninety-five
Oh man,
thousand
that doesn't
dollar
work. That's not
title.
working at all
Not
because of the
working.
background. No, that background is busting that shit up.
So
There
this
we
right
go.
here, the
That's better.
$295,000 championship. To those who are watching us on YouTube, you can
That's
see
made
it
out
for
of
your own eyes.
that's made out of straight blood diamonds and African gold, right?
Oh my God, absolutely not. Not the
Oh,
inaugural title. This is
oh,
this is Blood Diamond free. Are you kidding me?
oh.
Who are you
Well
talking to here?
then I don't want it.
Well, you can get your own
You can
title.
keep it. You can keep that trash belt.
I'm like the Daniel Bryan title with the hemp and the all vegan.
Oh, there wasn't enough crystals on that belt, bro.
I love that belt, but maybe I'm
I
just
mean,
biased
that's a
because I
missed opportunity. I mean, there was. I mean, he's a guy that's going to have crystals in his pockets, right? He should have had a lot of crystals on that belt instead of just fucking aquamarine stones and shit. There was not enough crystals on that belt.
it's a good point. That would have been
Yeah,
cool. Crush up some geodes.
yeah, something like that.
But long story short, we did two cards, and I ended up actually tying overall for the weekend. You came in a pathetic 2 points.
What did I tell you? I told you what was going to happen. Remember when I said this is where I fall? It's going to go off the rails.
Right.
I
Could have
told
went
you
either way.
I like to gamble.
You like to lose.
It's the thrill, man. It's the thrill of the up and down. Of am I gonna? No, I lose. I lose when I gamble. I suck at this.
I like that you bet
Did
with your heart, though.
did Rajit Rohat or whatever his name was win his open challenge? He lost. Who won?
Willie Mack came in and took that.
So you guys bet the field, and I was like, no, the star of the show, Rajat Rohat, whatever his
Rahit,
name is,
Raju, I
Rajit
believe.
yeah, he didn't win. No.
But the one
Hmm.
that you and only you got right for the weekend was in Impact, and you picked Rhino and Heath Slater going over, and they did. So they got their win.
Damn, told
You
you,
were the
son.
you were the only person to pick that. And the fatal four-way match, whatever it was, the unsanctioned, where we were all hating on Josh Alexander, is the only one that no one picked. Ended up winning
Yeah,
the
he won.
match.
He won, of course. Yeah, that's the first match I saw. Really, I think when I turned it on because I was coming in a little late. I think that's the first full match I watched. I came
Uh,
in at the end of the Moose and Trey Miguel match, which was not even. Was that on the card, or did we miss that somehow?
we missed it.
Well, it wasn't on the thing they sent me. So was it a spontaneous like Moose came out there shit talking situation and they just had a match, or was it a booked like this match is on the card?
Like I said, I missed the last 2 weeks of Impact, even though I've been watching it pretty regularly up until
Yeah.
that point. But I don't know. I didn't remember it being. Honestly, I don't really remember any matches for Victory Road being solidified from 2 weeks out, except for maybe Eddie Edwards versus Eric Young, which we saw Eric Young retained. And my girl Aisha Edwards didn't have as much of an impact as I thought she was going to have.
Did I not say? I said Eric Young was going to win that one. At least I got that one right, didn't I?
We all did. That was a wash. Anything that was a wash, nobody got a point.
Yeah, well,
so I counted points for any time that you picked the winner and there was somebody in the field that did not pick the winner.
Yeah.
Chris,
I told you going into this, I fucking suck at predictions. I don't know what happens to me. Maybe it's because I don't pay enough attention to things.
There's always tomorrow.
I'm not going to predict tomorrow. No, Raw.
Unless this is Rocky IV. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Oh, is that Rocky III? Am I messing up my Rocky saga?
Wait.
I'm blanking on the name, but it's the trainer because it's 4. It's the trainer who trained Apollo, who then after Apollo died, he was training Rocky against Ivan.
The guy that's
man, what's wrong with you? Oh no, what am I? Oh my God, no! Apollo says that to him in 3. When they're training on the beach in L.A. and he just like stops running.
Yeah.
We'll get it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
He's gonna have a montage flashback scene, and then he's got to find himself when Adrian comes out there and makes sure he wins. Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in myself that it took me that long to put that together. It's been a long day.
I'm a little disappointed in myself for not correcting you on it fast enough.
Dude, it was a long and thrilling night because my Philadelphia Eagles beat the current NFC champion 49ers in dramatic fashion.
It was a good game. I didn't see the end of it.
It was close. The Birds ended up pulling out a little bit at the end in the fourth quarter, and the Niners ended up coming back, and it ended up coming down to a last-second throw to the end zone. So Birds pulled out.
My Falcons will probably lose tomorrow night, so I'm getting this jersey in while I can because if I wear it on game day, we always lose. So that's why I'm wearing it today.
Smart.
Yeah. That way it's not my fault. That's why it's not my fault tomorrow when we lose.
That's going to be a fun game, though.
It'll be their fault.
You're playing the Chiefs, right?
No, Packers.
Oh. Are there 2 games tomorrow?
Yeah, Chiefs.
Okay.
They moved something to CBS because it was COVID. Was it Chiefs and Patriots?
Possibly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because Cam Newton got the COVID.
So, anyway, what did you think of NXT? Let's get into that. 'Cause that's what we came for. That's what everybody's here for.
The match of the night to me was definitely Escobar and Swerve.
That was a good match. I thought a lot of the matches were good. But, yeah, that would probably, to me too, would probably take it for me as far as the top of the night goes. We were all surprised to see Io hold on to her title. None of us picked that.
Yeah, I definitely thought Candice was, but it makes more sense now that they still can't get the gold as a family because that was what they're both trying to do. So they both, instead of being trouble amongst the ranks, now they're just going to both be struggling to, I guess, figure out what the Gargano way is actually going to do or something, right?
Yeah, where does it go from here for them, in your opinion?
I don't know. I think you got to go more heel. You got to be even more evil. That's how you fix everything, right?
But you alluded to this, or maybe you were mentioning how your buddy thought this, that they don't really captivate you when they're doing that. And I agree. I don't know if you do, but I'm the same way.
I like them better as heels than I do as baby faces.
I agree. But even then, I like them as more as like sniveling heels than psychotic heels.
Yeah.
I don't buy Johnny Gargano as psychotic right after maybe 6 months to a year of him being
psychotic. He can just be like devious and fucking evil.
I like the way he's been portrayed the past few weeks in his heel role. I loved on NXT last Wednesday when they were doing the promo and he was, or like a backstage interview, and he was talking about, she broke my TV, you break her leg, tit for tat, same, or like however he said it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. But what was your favorite match of the night?
I think my favorite moment of the night might have actually been Kushida and seeing his viciousness after the match.
Do you consider that a heel turn? Because
it's interesting. Because
but the thing is, who he did it to, they're not portraying him on TV as being who he is in real life, who we know why he's being
Right.
punished and buried because of all the things he's done or allegedly done.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like that's the storyline they're portraying him as on TV. So it's not like, oh, it's just Kushida beating up a pedophile. No, it's just Kushida attacking somebody brutally. So I think it's definitely a Kushida heel turn. You don't have to, just because a babyface turns on a heel doesn't mean the heel has to turn babyface. It doesn't mean Velveteen Dream turned. Velveteen Dream's still a heel as well, but Kushida's now a heel because of the way he acted. I think that's what people were missing there, is that it's not just because he did it to Velveteen Dream doesn't mean that he's not a heel. He did heel shit. It's just now Velveteen Dream's still a heel and Kushida's a heel, right?
You can look at it that way,
You
and
don't always have to do the double switch. It's not always a double switch, It's not always a double turn.
right. Well, and you're probably right, but it could also be, you see WWE does this a lot where they'll do something and then not follow it up.
Yeah.
They might have done that specifically for the moment of, we know that everybody watching that's in the bubble or in the Thunderdome or whatever they're calling it
It's a Capital Wrestling Center.
Right, Capital Wrestling Center.
Like, why?
I don't hate it. Whatever.
But first of all, so the whole thing is like they bought Capital Wrestling and it's supposed to be like a throwback to that, right?
Well, I think calling it that is an homage to that, but I don't know how much it's going to go beyond that.
I don't understand, because they're like, they even referenced it. It's like, it's just like the old day. No, it's not. There's video screens and cage link fence around everything. Like, I don't think Capital Wrestling did that. I don't know. I don't understand the whole thing. I think they just wanted to take the Cruiserweight Classic logo and rebrand it as something else so that way it all ties in.
Maybe.
It's the same. It's the same fucking logo. It's those two C's and the W and the CWC backward. It's the same thing. I think that's like exactly all it is.
Well, we just got introduced to it tonight, so let's see what
I
happens.
like the
with
presentation of it.
Yeah, so let's see what happens with it before we criticize it too much.
I wasn't criticizing it as more as I was just confused with why you had to call it that.
Right.
It's to me, like, why tie it into something from 1956 and say that it's exactly like it? I don't understand.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, it could just be to
they're not in DC.
Well, to differentiate it.
Orlando.
Well, I'm thinking to differentiate it from the Thunderdome.
Okay.
But also to maybe get away from calling it the Performance Center.
Yeah.
So
they rebranded the Performance Center so it doesn't sound so in-house.
Right. Which is fine. I don't hate that either. But I lost my train of thought again. This is awful. This is bad airtime.
That's all right.
They're bringing back Halloween Havoc.
Yeah. Now, obviously that's a direct shot at Cody and AEW. Since they're going to do it on Wednesday night, and it's.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, it's Wednesday night, the 28th. It's not a special pay-per-view. It's a Wednesday night against Dynamite on the 28th.
Wow.
And they even made have you seen the logo? The logo's an old WCW logo with just NXT at the top instead where it said WCW.
Which I like that. I like
it too, but like it'd be better if it was its own pay-per-view and it was standalone, I think, to me, instead of putting it up head-to-head against AEW. I think that's a little bit – people always complain about AEW can't stop taking shots at WWE, but like you do shit like that, and it's like, I mean, come on, man. You're throwing it back just as hard, if not harder, because you're like rubbing his nose in the copyrights that he can't get back that he wants, that his dad created.
Yeah, that's obviously one way to look at it, which is probably the most reasonable way.
I mean, you can't tell me they didn't do it for that reason. There's no reason to give NXT Halloween Havoc and put it up Wednesday night against Dynamite unless you're doing it just out of spite.
I put it this way: I can't tell you you're wrong, but I don't need to think that too deep into it either. We've been talking for weeks about how we kind of want to rewatch Halloween Havoc and go through October, make that a fun thing. And
I got 89 on right now again.
Do you?
The one from Philly, man.
Yeah, I was watching that the other night.
Yeah, I haven't. And I'm looking right now, and I can see a couple of the regulars from the old
ECW shows.
Yeah, they're in the front, man. The guy, the Hawaiian shirt guy is out there somewhere with a straw hat. I see him.
Yeah. But I fell asleep during that, so I gotta, because I put them on at the end of the night and just kind of mellow out to it. But
I'm trying not to look at it because Tom Zink's on the screen. I'm not a Z-Man fan at all.
Oh, you're early in the show then.
Yeah, fuck the Z-Man.
But you know what? I wasn't Halloween Havoc, although
that's not apologizing for that either. I'm not apologizing for that. He's dead. Not apologizing for saying fuck Z-Man.
Shots fired.
Yeah, he tried to hit on my mom. He hit on my mom in front of me when I was like 7 at a house show. Yeah, like me and my mom were in line to get food, and he's like, "Hey," he's trying to like fuck my mom in front of me. So I'm like, "Fuck you, Z man,
Yeah,
piece of shit."
nobody, dead, alive, or not yet born, messes with Pamela
Hmm.
Haynes. All
He was
right.
like, "You should come with us to an after party," and she's like, "I got my kid." He's like, you can do something with him." It's
No.
like, what? To get rid of like leave the kids in a car or something, Z man, and come to the after party? He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I
Fuck the
don't.
Z man.
I agree. I agree. This show does not
But
support his body of
total
work.
total missed opportunity on my mom's part, right?
Anyway, no. So I definitely wanted to talk about Halloween Havoc, but that wasn't the point I was trying to make. You asked me what my favorite match of the night was.
Mhm.
I said my favorite moment was Kushida, and we kind of got off topic when we were talking about one.
Us? Off topic? No fucking way, bro.
But I'm impressed with my ability to focus enough to bring us back.
You're
See,
doing a good job. You're
we're
you're, you're losing your train of thought, but then you're reeling me back in. So we're working it out.
I oh no, I'm just kidding.
Call back.
So what I liked about the Kushida match was the
His
viciousness that
shoes.
you were talking about. And WWE does a great job of providing these moments where then they can go at a crossroads and they can kind of pan out over the next few days and see which way they want to go.
Mhm.
They don't need to do anything differently with Kushida starting Wednesday on NXT. That could have just been a solitary moment where they knew that everybody that was watching in that electronic virtual thing, no matter what they're telling them to do, everybody's doing this to the camera for Velveteen Dream. So they knew, hey, we're going to try to get you over. You're going to get the match anyway. You're getting the win. Afterwards, this is a good person that everybody is giving up on anyway. So get some extra heat on him. And then tomorrow you'll still be a baby face, but it'll just show a different side of you. And he'll still be, but maybe not. It's probably more likely that he'll be more
He's
heel like.
more
And
moving to the tweener. He's tweening now. He was going to be like the
yeah,
baby. Yeah.
if that
We'll
happens
see. We'll
anywhere,
see. We'll
it
see what
happens in
happens.
NXT, you know?
So, I was talking to somebody today. We got the draft coming up too.
Mm.
You see anybody? We got the draft coming up in the next 8 days?
Cole and O'Reilly
You think they're going
leaving
up?
NXT.
You think?
I think so, man. Because look, it kind of looked like once Cole dropped the title that he was going up, and then he had the SummerSlam feud with Pat McAfee,
Man, I
and
hope he doesn't though.
well,
I think he'll get lost up there. I think they both will.
if they stick together, then
Oh, because they're so good at doing that, right?
no, I
Making
know, I
teams
know,
keeping teams stuck together. I mean, that's not the formula up there.
I know,
They won't
I
get. They won't get. They'll get kept together for 3 weeks or so, and then they're fighting each other, and then they're lost in the shuffle after a month after that. If that's so, we don't want that. You don't want them up there.
know. No, it's hard to be optimistic about it, but I would hope that they're so good and they have such a long history together, even just the two of them as a tag team, and now as a group of, well, you know what? Maybe they don't move them up. Maybe they stay on NXT. Now that I'm talking about it and kind of thinking out loud, maybe
You got to have somebody down there to build your stars, right? And I
and
think that's what
yeah,
they look like. Ridge Hall was it Ridge Holland? Is that his name?
yep,
Him
that's
attacking
who,
Cole looks
yep,
like that's going to be the next program. So you can't pull him up right away if you're going to work that program to establish and build somebody as a contender for Finn. Because it looked like that's what they were going to do is like have Ridge Holland come up, and to make him to be a credible contender to Finn, he has to go through somebody credible and make that Adam Cole. So he attacks Adam Cole. You know what I mean? It gives him a little bit of credibility to make him establishing himself as somebody that somebody can take seriously in the main event. Because right now, I mean, why would you? You know.
right, right, right.
So, but if you keep pulling all these people to the main roster without establishing stars, I think that's where you're getting this loss of interest that a lot of people have in the company or in NXT. I mean, because it happens to me, man. Like they pull all these people up, and then what do you got left? It's like, all right, now who's going to fill that void? And then as soon as they get there, they pull them away, and then it's just like, what do why get invested in somebody just to watch them leave?
Yeah, okay.
You got to keep somebody around.
Well, when I say bring them up, I don't necessarily mean this week or next week.
Yeah.
But do you see Cole and Riley being there in NXT by Survivor Series weekend?
Yeah, I don't think you
Okay.
can take him out of NXT. I think you leave him down there, man.
Then if you don't, and I'm not, and I like that. I like the idea of them staying there in NXT. But do you think by Survivor Series weekend we see something along the lines of Cole and O'Reilly versus Strong and Fish, or even bigger than that, with somebody coming to Cole and O'Reilly's aid, and maybe um, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name because I love him. I love the way they presented him so far. The guy that just destroyed him,
Rich Holland?
Rich Holland.
Yeah.
I'm mad that I'm blanking on it because I love his music. I love the way he looks. I love the vignettes that they've done for him so far, and I'm excited for him moving forward. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see some divisions. And I mean, obviously, there's going to be divisions in Undisputed Era, just the way that it's been portrayed so far for so many weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we see more characters, more wrestlers coming into that, and it's not just the four of them. And maybe Rich Holland ends up bringing in, or maybe more Fish and Strong bringing in Rich Holland to the group and getting away from Strong and O'Reilly, or
We'll
from
see.
Cole and O'Reilly. Maybe they team up with somebody, and it leads to some kind of elimination at Survivor Series weekend.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what they do. I think they keep them for. I think they keep the four of them together for a while and kind of build the dissension of like these two have kind of changed their attitude, and then these two are still the old way. And then it just I think you keep that going for a while, and you long burn that, and you tell that story for a long time. You don't rush it over the next month. I mean, you
No, not
stretch
over
that
the
out.
next. Yeah, not
Yeah,
over the
you
next
stretch
month.
that out. You stretch that out. There's still a team at Survivor Series if they're going to do something like that, where there's like where they have a representation in the match. I would keep them together. I think you keep them together for a while and you run that out for a little bit longer than just to pull the trigger and break them up right away. There's just a lot of good storyline you can do there, and a lot of TV you can fill.
Mm-hmm.
But we got the draft coming, so I was kicking around, talking to one of my buddies. He was like, "You know who's going to show up? You know, the name is going to be returning." I was like, "What's that?" He said, "Lars Sullivan."
Is he still signed?
Oh yeah,
Is he?
oh yeah. And apparently they've been talking about him a
Really?
lot. Yeah, a lot of little mumbles and rumors about him being mentioned backstage, but they're still real worried about how he's still perceived as just the guy that got freaked out and ran away, went back home, had a freak out and ran back home. So
And that's not all. I mean,
they can't really trust him. He's racist. You can't really trust him. He's
I
crazy.
wasn't gonna say it, but he's had a few issues that have been public. So,
dude, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. He wrote it. You can't say that he didn't say it. It's there.
yeah, it's a hard image to come back from.
Yeah,
when it's out there.
They'll do it. They'll bring him back. They brought Velveteen Dream back. And they just took Austin Theory, who got accused of the same things, and threw him back down to NXT and put him right on TV and jobbing him out again as punishment. But they're not worried about putting somebody with a bad image right back on TV.
Yeah, that's proven.
So now, today, did you see the Tony Storm vignette?
I did.
So now explain this to me.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Storm, all this big, okay, great, Tony Storm's back. That's super awesome. Boom, huge pop. If there was people there, but you know what I mean? Like that's like the big reveal. Then what happens? Let's just overshadow that and steal the thunder by just having Ember Moon biker ride out and then just do this. Just I debut over, I return over top of you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point in that? Like why throw both those two right on top of each other just to have one outshine the other?
Maybe for that purpose. Maybe so that when Tony Storm comes in, she can be mad about that and say exactly what you just said.
Well, that's the only way it would make sense.
Yeah, but that's it's such a good promo. And in the meantime, in between time, you can have Ember Moon next week on, or maybe in the next 2 weeks, however long it takes to be able to bring Tony Storm back. So that it's not like, oh, I'm coming back, and then next week she's here. Hopefully that is a long feud that maybe leads to the three of them all feuding for the title in a elimination triple threat match at NXT Takeover for Survivor Series. I'm just fantasy booking right now. I hate when I do that.
I'm like, all right, your well wishes are not going to happen, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. I mean, they'll probably have a match, the three of them. That's the only reason they probably put that segment. I mean, like they did it the way they did. You know what I mean? But
I get very fantasy booky when
it just seems Like, unless that's what you're doing, to where Tony Storm now is pissed off and is like, you stole my shine, you stole my thunder, then like there's no reason to have done it that way to me. But whatever. So
I'll
is she a
hold it like
biker now?
this.
Is Ember Moon a biker now?
I don't know what she is. I really never know what her gimmick
Is
is. It's
she? I mean,
like,
she rode in on a motorcycle had the motorcycle helmet on when she came out on stage.
yeah. I guess we'll see. To be determined. She's kind of like, but she's always been that way with me. She's like Shotzi Blackheart. Like she's just got like a million different gimmicks going on. Well, she's like kind of just like a charcuterie board of gimmicks.
Shotzi Blackheart's run is going to be the host of Halloween Havoc.
Is she?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they said.
See, I
She's
don't
on the
hate that.
poster. She's on the poster. The only person. She's like howling at the moon. And Halloween
Okay.
Havoc is the moon, the logo.
I hope they have fun with it and they make it very Halloween oriented.
Like the old ones, like they used to be, where you'd see Tony Schiavone dressed up as the Phantom of the Opera, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do a backstage gimmick where everybody's in their Halloween costume. It leads to food fight.
Or was it Eric Bischoff that was the Phantom of the Opera? Either way, I don't remember. I remember I saw Eric Bischoff, I heard him talking on the last podcast. I think it was the last episode, 83 Weeks, that they mentioned Halloween Havoc. And I'm pretty sure, if I heard it correctly, that he considered that to be WCW's like WrestleMania. Even though everybody else said it was Starrcade, he was like, nah, I always saw it as being Halloween Havoc. That was like, that's what but maybe I heard him wrong. But
I'll tell you what, as a casual WCW fan in its heyday, because I always followed it, but I didn't really watch it as much. Halloween Havoc was always one that I got really excited for, more so than, like you said, Starrcade or like not knowing what their WrestleMania was. I always felt like I got excited for what happened around Halloween Havoc.
I mean, I guess you can argue and say that it's Starrcade because we had Sting, Hogan, Piper, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But was Hogan and Warrior at Halloween Havoc? I think it was, wasn't it?
I would have to rely on you for knowledge of that stuff.
I want to say that might have been 98. Let me got this thing that there's this crazy thing that we have here.
It's Sunday night. If you want to do it, you can. The champ has done enough over the weekend in retaining on. I'd spent 2 nights retaining this title. I'm like all of the New Japan.
Ooh, guess who got it right? Halloween Havoc 98.
Good for you. Too bad it didn't have to do with.
And it wasn't the main event.
No, what was the main event that year?
Goldberg DDP. Bret Hart versus Sting was on before Hogan and Warrior for the U.S. belt.
Poor Bret Hart, man.
He won. He was the champ going into that match, and he defeated Sting to retain. Halloween Havoc. I think I watched that one not too long ago.
I just decided Bret Hart is going to be my great white whale. As far as interviews, he will be. We're going to try to get him.
Shoot him an email. He can do it.
I'm gonna try to get Bret Hart.
Speaking of which, did you shoot those other emails? Those ones that I
none of them.
Nice. I have all the confidence in the world that you're going to get Bret Hart, though.
Because I'm motivated.
Yeah, your email motivation, your email blasting skills, and your hustle has got me convinced that it's
if you're going to put me on blast now, I do believe that and I'm not saying it's reasonable, but I asked you to just write it all in a list so I can, and just screenshot it to me so I can just check them off one by one.
Of who I need to tell you who I
like all the people you want me to email and stuff you need me to do.
Okay, I'm gonna do that tonight. What are you doing tomorrow? Do you got to work?
My one class got canceled, so I got my night class, but I'll have extra time during the day, so I can.
Oh, you got all day tomorrow, so you'll have those.
Well, when I get home from work, I'll have all afternoon.
Have those transcriptions coming.
Slow.
Sorry, Shazza.
I love Shazza, and I want to make sure I give enough dedicated time to it, and I know I couldn't do that today with the birds. The birds! Come on, it's Birds Day.
Tomorrow's my Birds Day.
Well, then you won't have to worry about it because I will be making sure that it's all good. All right?
Yeah.
So why don't we wrap this up?
Well, let's talk about it. So
I was going to say we barely talked about it.
Let's actually talk about it. So the main event happened.
Yeah, we should have talked about it more.
Finn won.
As far as the matches go.
Let's just talk about our predictions. Like
I was gonna say, I feel like
let's just talk about this. Run it down. Where you and Fazza tied, right?
So it came down to Faz and I, tied with 6 scored right over the entirety of the weekend. And
Mhm.
again, that I'm not counting any matches where it was a wash, where either all or none of us
Mhm.
obviously got any
Yeah,
points.
gotcha.
That said, Faz and I scored 6. Chris ended up scoring 5.
And
It
I
would
got
have
2.
been a 3-way tie push if he didn't go with Johnny Gargano.
I got 2.
Came
But
in with 2 points.
those 2 were good.
And you know what? You know what I like about you, buddy? You pick with your heart. You
Oh
went with
yeah, no, I know it too. I'm like, oh, I'm biased because I know this guy, and I'm like, damn it, that's not how this works.
when I don't have the title, I pick with my heart. But when you're holding over $300,000 worth of gold and
Blood
genuine
diamonds
leather, no blood, no blood. But when you're holding that much value around your waist and shoulder, you need to pick with your head, not your heart. So,
is this my last place belt? Can this be my last place title?
oh, what's that? The spinner belt?
Yeah, I think so.
I had one of those when I was younger too. I forget which belt it was, but oh, it was the WCW big gold belt.
Well, that one is on. It was on one of these champions. Oh no, I don't
You got
see it
that one
anymore.
too?
Yeah, it's somewhere. It was somewhere.
Let me see the memorabilia that you just pulled out. That's recently displayed right there.
This
Now,
guy?
did you just buy this, or is this one
No,
you had?
I guess I bought it a while back, and I
Okay,
found it in my closet. It's a boxed WCW Nitro
excellent.
signature
Heels.
series 1, and it's my man Ric Flair in his purple trunks.
And I bring it up at this precise moment because since there's a 2-way tie, there's a little bit of controversy right now. And Faz, I'm looking right at you, buddy, because I know you watch and I know you listen. To be the man, you got to beat the man, buddy. Still champ.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna get behind that. As way as I see it, yeah.
And you and Deez and anybody else, Shazza, who wants to come on,
I
who
don't
who
think
wants
I'm
to
a
come on.
threat. I don't feel like
Yeah,
I'm a
you're
threat to
not a
your
threat.
title at any time because I just start. I mean, I called. I was like, "This is where it goes off the rails," because I think I was like, I think that I might have even had the lead coming out of Impact, bro.
You were
I don't
doing
even.
good in Impact.
That's what I'm telling you. I think I was like, because I was picking,
No,
except
you
for that
weren't.
Rajat Heat match, or no, I picked Ace. Yeah, I didn't do good. I
I
think I was
lied.
negative
I
two. I
lied.
was -2 coming out of Impact, probably.
You got 1 point in Impact and 1 point in
Hey, how many points did you get in Impact?
3.
Oh, fuck you.
It was a 3-way tie coming out of Impact.
Does it help to watch these shows that you're predicting for? Does that actually help?
Yeah, when you don't know who either person is, sure, it
Mhm.
definitely helps.
All
Yeah.
right, so this is something that I should start doing more often is paying attention to what I'm watching.
If you have any interest in a $304,000 title, then yeah, you should probably give it a
Mm.
shot. But if not, that's fine. I would like to invite, like I said, Faz and Chris and Shazza and anybody else who wants to vie for the title. Faz, you're more than welcome to come on and vie for it again because you are a worthy competitor, but you're not the champ. You need to come back around, baby. And what's the next pay-per-view? Would that be Hell in a Cell?
Yes,
All right, so
yes,
that's only a few weeks away.
and Full Gear on the 7th, 9th
That's
or 7th
November.
of November. So I think we've
Yeah,
got
first week of November.
yeah. So we've got those 2 coming up, and that's it. I
God, I
think.
missed I missed Full Gear last year. That was such a fun weekend.
Uh, Man, that really was fun last weekend. Which I think I found some stuff from that earlier, but I don't know where I put it.
Don't worry about it.
I found a bunch of new stuff from that weekend. And I was like looking around. I was like, oh,
Let's
wait,
tease it. Let's tease
yeah.
it
I don't
for
remember what it
next
was, but
episode.
I don't even remember what it was, but I found it.
Well, let's give some farewell thoughts on NXT and the show. What we liked, what we didn't like, some fast
Well,
break points.
what'd you think? I mean, you didn't watch
Okay,
it all. You watched
I
the.
did. No, I did. So what I did was I had the pay-per-view on my laptop and then I had the Eagles on the TV.
Yeah.
But I had the sound on both
I mean,
because
it was good
I
wrestling,
like
but
to
I think it
party.
was just kind of meh. I was just kind of meh about the whole thing. I don't know.
I'm getting more and more. Maybe it's just getting easier to entertain me then because I loved it and
Yeah,
the
that's good.
online it seemed like everybody kind of agreed with what you were saying initially that it was yeah, not so great, not so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just felt like it looked better on paper than, but the matches were good. I don't know what it was. I just kind of felt under delivered, even though like there wasn't anything that I feel like shit the bed. You know what I mean? I don't really know why I don't feel just hyped after that show. I don't know.
Did you could you maybe attribute it to the thought that there weren't a whole lot of like heart pumping high spots or dangerous spots? There
Maybe,
wasn't any weaponry or any like
maybe
savagery. It was just a lot
nothing
of
that there wasn't anything that stood out at me really. Maybe that's what it was. Is because like the only thing I mean, I didn't even really see what happened with Ridge Holland. Like I kind of like
really.
turned my head and then turned back. I was like, wait, why is Adam Cole dead?
It
You know?
happened quickly.
Yeah,
He showed up with him. So Ridge showed up with Adam like over his shoulder, and then
yeah.
just kind of threw him over and walked away. And most of the footage that you saw was Undisputed Era kind of crouched over
That's what I
Cole.
saw. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. So maybe I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what it was. There just wasn't anything. It wasn't very high spot filled. There wasn't any real. Yeah, wasn't
And
any weaponry or wasn't any gimmicks. There was nothing.
right.
It was just a straight, straight card
Okay.
matches, pay per view champ. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's a good. Maybe that's a good guess as to why I feel that way. I don't know.
So to
I feel
anybody
like I
that's
should. I feel like I should have enjoyed it more than I did.
well, and that's what I was going to say. If anybody's listening or watching and feels the same way, I would recommend going back and at least watching the women's title match, the
It was good.
men's
That was a
title
good match.
match,
The Santos Escobar and Swerve match was fantastic.
and the cruiserweight title match. Those three matches, at least, if not the entire card, watch it again when you can kind of just you don't have anything else going on and you can focus on the story start to finish in the ring. I think a few of those matches they focused on telling a story, focusing on a specific body part, and not necessarily big watch this on replay moments that you got to stop what you're doing and look at it, but really understand the uh, slow moving moves like the kicks and the punches and the simple stuff. I thought every match did that kind of stuff really well, and it was a very technically sound pay per view throughout. And I enjoy that kind of stuff.
I also wonder if maybe just not having Morrow there to get as excited about things makes me not as excited. I mean, Vic, even though no knock on Vic, he's
Hmm.
great, but he doesn't get as I mean, I don't think he's as into it as Morrow is ever. I don't think anybody could be as into it as Morrow was, dude. His
Exactly.
reactions were so genuine and real that I think that is a big part that was missing from I think tonight too,
Hmm.
because I think it was one of the first or second pay per views really without him, where you're just like, oh, he's not coming back. You're like he's not there anymore. He's gone. So maybe
And
that's a little different too. I mean, I don't
right,
know. It just there was just the energy. I just didn't have the energy that I thought it should have, and I didn't feel it. It didn't make me get it. I didn't get it hype from it. I don't know
right,
why. I
right.
really don't know why.
Maybe, and again, nothing against Vic Joseph, but maybe
Yeah, he's
that's,
great. I love Vic Joseph. Like
but
that's what's weird.
but
I don't understand.
maybe that specific voice. You hear it on Monday, it's not different. And just
Mm-hmm.
hearing a different voice gives it a different feel that you can get excited for. It's not the same thing you're going to hear in a few days tomorrow, you know?
Yeah,
So I don't know.
I
There's
don't know.
probably something to that.
I know I like Vic though. I don't want people to think that I don't like Vic Joseph. I really like Vic Joseph. I think he's great at what he does. I think he was good. I think he was good. Would have been good with Morrow too. I mean, if they were together, I think at some point maybe. But
Mm.
I don't know. I just
I
think maybe I
think
missed Morrow, man. Maybe that's something to do with it.
I honestly think anybody that doesn't crap the bed in that position, after hearing what you hear about how like in your ear and vocal they are throughout the match and how you literally have to listen and come across so fluidly at the same
Hmm.
time, like on national television for 3 hours straight, I think anybody that can do that without
Have
sounding
to
awful.
having to watch something, listen to something, process, speak, make sure you're doing everything at once is very difficult. I mean,
Hmm.
that's I know I couldn't do it. Like we can barely do this without us fucking this up. So imagine trying to do that. I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
I did
Uh,
commentary once. It was terrible. Yeah.
Fun fact about me, I actually used to do this, and I used to announce high school basketball games.
That is interesting. I did not know
I
that.
got paid when I was in high school to do it for another school, and then my school found out about it, asked me to do it for them, so I did it for them, and then they didn't pay me.
I was trying to think. There was this. Was it? Is it Go Fight Live? But that he used to be like an internet. like where there's a bunch of wrestling shows on Go Fight Live or something like that. It was before Fight TV and all those streaming services. It was one of those ones where people were like recording their shit, putting it up there to see
Oh,
it
okay.
later. You know what I mean? Before people were able to stream stuff pretty regularly.
Right.
Uh, this was like 10 years ago.
Like a YouTube style, like precursor just for that specifically,
Like pay,
like
you had
fighters.
to pay. You had to pay for your pay per view. It was like, independent wrestling companies were putting their
Gotcha.
shows up for people to buy, and they would set the price, and then Go Fight Live would get something, and they'd get something. But a lot of the local ones around here had me do commentary because I had one of the websites, and dude, it was terrible. Well, because they put me with somebody I'd never met before, you know what I mean? And that guy was awful. So like, I couldn't really get into it because he was so bad, and I just spent more time talking shit to that guy than I did. He would say something, and I'd be like, "What the fuck are you even talking about?" You know what I mean? It was like,
Right.
yeah. So like people got more, and like I kept apologizing, like, no, we like it. It's like you're like a more vulgar Bobby the Brain Heenan, but you just don't even know what's going on. I'm like, yeah, because I don't know what's going on, and this guy's terrible at it. But yeah, I couldn't do their job, dude. So, but
It's funny because ever since I was little, even when I was very, very little, I always understood that it's dangerous in the ring. Only certain people can do that. I don't see myself being a wrestler, but I love professional wrestling so much that I'd love to be in the business. So even from a very young age, I always gravitated towards the managers and the
oh,
announcers.
I definitely did the managing. I loved doing that. I had so much fun doing that. That was
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
I
because
could see that.
I did the school here in my hometown.
Hmm.
It was run by a guy that had his claim to fame is I think he got jobbed out on a WCW Saturday night one time. And he didn't. Oh no, he didn't want to do the job to the Nasty Boys. So like he just argued about it. So they just ended up beating the shit out of him instead. And then like in the ring because he didn't want to drive out of the Nasty Boys, and he never
Wow.
was asked back. That was like his claim to fame. It's like I worked at WCW Saturday night. Like, oh, why didn't you work too? I don't want to talk about it. And everybody's like, I'll tell you later. And they told us that. They told us like he felt like he shouldn't lose to the Nasty Boys, that he was better than the Nasty Boys in like 1992 or 3 or
Right.
whenever they were in WCW, 94. Like,
He went out
yeah.
swinging.
Oh, no, he didn't. I'm pretty sure they like almost took his boots from him. It was like one of those where they're like, you don't even deserve to wear these boots kind of deal.
Right.
Like, yeah. But yeah, so that guy ran a school, but he had like Ricky Morton come in
Mhm.
and like Bobby Eaton and Dutch Mantel and like all those guys come in and do like guest spots all the time. So,
Hmm.
but a lot of like good people came through. Like that's how I got to meet Cash. Like I met, not how I got to meet him.
Yeah.
That's how I got to know him pretty well because he was there and he was here every couple of days, and that's how I really got to meet Chase and knew Chase well.
Hmm.
And just like all those guys that I know from this circuit was pretty much through that shitty school because it was
Yeah.
just he ran a regular show on Sunday afternoons, so it was fun. But yeah,
Speaking of Chase, he's somebody that is on that list of people that I need to reach out to, and B is I know he just did his Twitch live. Is that a
yeah, that
recurring
was
thing?
yesterday. Yeah, he's gonna be doing. He does it all the time.
Right.
He's constantly running the stream. But yeah, he had the tournament Saturday, but had some people back out, so it ended up just being kind of like a. I don't know how they ended up doing it. It was I missed him explaining how he was doing it again. I think he was trying to fill the spots for the people that backed out, and I don't know if they did. Like
Right.
I don't. They were just playing games all day with some people, and I hung out with them for a few hours in the chat room and sat and
So
watched it.
I'm very unfamiliar with Twitch and how it works,
Yeah, it's
and
just
I don't
like
play. Hold on, and I don't play Xbox. But from what you just said, it sounds like to anybody who's watching or listening, if you head over to Chase Owens' platform on Twitter or
yeah,
Twitch.
it's his Twitch is I think it's Crown Jewel BC. So
Um,
because he's the Bullet Club
right.
Crown Jewel member of the Bullet Club. So I think it's twitch.com/Crown Jewel BC.
But it sounds like if the next round comes up soon for doing one of those Twitch tournaments, if you're listening and it's something that you're interested in, you play Xbox, then it would be easy to get in because it
Yeah,
sounds like
he plays all the time with people. So yeah, just follow our social media. We'll be plugging his stuff because we are sponsoring his Twitch stream. So
mhm.
it's a chance for fans to hang out and play video games with him, and you
I
can
think he
ask
gives out
questions.
prizes too every once in a
Yeah,
while.
well, every once in a while, and then this one there was a tournament, so people would enter for money. They would pay. They put money to enter, but yeah, there was like a prize pool for everybody. But yeah, he does
And
stuff, and it's
and I'm not putting him on blast like he needs to start giving out prizes every time because of me, but
I
he
think he
every once
does.
in a while
Yeah, we'll do something. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, you can also like he interacts with you too. So there's a little chat window that pops up, so you can ask questions, and he's like in between. When he's paying attention, he'll talk to you and read your stuff and answer
Right.
you, kind of just like all the guys do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
it's the big thing right now for people. But
Right.
it's cool, man.
Is he in Japan right now, or is he
No,
back
he's in
in America?
Texas. He's in Texas right now.
Okay, I gotcha. So yeah, well, that'd be cool. I'll reach out to him. Hopefully he responds, and if not, I can reach out to you and be like, "Yo, tell your boy to
Yeah,
respond."
I'll text him and be like, hey man.
But I'll do it the classy way first. I'll approach him as a.
Yeah, no, he said he would do one for us. So whenever.
Let's give final parting words on what you want to see for Halloween Havoc.
I mean, I don't know yet. What I want to see something gimmicky. There has to be something gimmicky for Halloween Havoc, and
That's
we
what I mean.
can't have a Thunderdome cage match because now a Thunderdome means something totally different in WWE.
Hmm.
Because Halloween Havoc '89 up here on my TV, we're gonna have Sting and Ric Flair against Terry Funk and Muta in the Thunderdome
The OG Thunderdome.
electric cage match.
It's electric. Boogie
Oh,
boogie
dude, I
boogie.
just happened to stumble across of because I guess it was in Vegas when Sting was on Starcast and he
Hmm.
was doing I guess he was on the Bischoff's podcast or something. It was something, I think it was 83 Weeks, where they started talking about Great Muta, and he was just telling this great story about Great Muta smoking cigarettes in the back. He just did a great Muta impression or whatever, like, "Oh, you in good shape?" He's like, "Oh, Sting, I can't do 30 minutes. Let's do 15. I blow up. I blow up." It was so funny, and Sting was doing such a great Muta voice too.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, I got into that today. I got down that rabbit hole, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like to see something gimmicky since they didn't do anything this pay-per-view. Do
Hmm.
something to make Halloween Havoc feel special because that was kind of something they always did in WCW. There was, the Thunderdome cage match. Then they had 90 didn't have anything really gimmicky other than just I don't know, there wasn't any gimmick in 90. It was just the Black Scorpion teasing Sting or taunting Sting the whole time. So it was
Hmm.
just black magic. Black magic was involved in it. Then 91 we had the Chamber of Horrors cage match with Abdullah the Butcher, all those people,
Hmm.
Cactus Jack, and that match was fucking horrible. You watched that one yet? Have you gotten there?
No. You're
Dude,
predating me on
oh my
stuff.
god, that was rough. That was real rough. There's like a
I,
there's
you
like an
know what? I
electric
actually
chair.
I might have watched that
They
specific match because I've gone down rabbit holes with Cactus Jack a billion times, and
oh
I've seen a
god,
bunch of
dude,
matches
it's
of
real
him with
bad.
Abdullah.
It's real bad. It's like an electric cage with an electric chair, and they have to put somebody in an electric chair in the middle and electrocute them. It's
See,
really bad. It's
I
really bad.
remember watching it, but I don't ever remember watching that with them. Like I remember watching that gimmick match. Didn't they have that with other people, or was it only with them?
No, it
Oh,
was just with them. But it was
then
the
I
most
watched
like
it, but
random makeshift group of 8 people or 10 people in the ring ever. It was
oh,
like,
oh yeah. It was a multi-man match. It wasn't just the two of them.
yeah,
I did
no,
watch
no.
that.
There's like because
Hmm.
it was like, yeah, it was like 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. It was
Yeah.
like war games, but with
Yes,
like an electric cage and a fucking electric chair in the middle. I don't know, it's stupid.
I
So
did
then we
watch
get
that.
the spin the wheel, make the deal. So there's 2 of those.
Hmm.
We get Sting and Jake the Snake, and then you get the Vader and Cactus Jack
But
one.
Cass, what do you want to see at
I
this
just told
Halloween
you,
have? No,
a
you
gimmick
said,
match.
oh, just a gimmick match.
I want
Okay.
to see something gimmicky, something. You know what I mean? Something
Hmm.
like that they
Just
used to
anything
always
like
do.
any of
Just
that. I gotcha.
anything to make it. See, I remember those. You know what the fuck
Right.
I'm saying? What I'm saying? I already don't remember what I watched earlier tonight, dude.
Mm. No,
What happened at 31? I don't know.
right. But no, that makes sense. That I hope they do the spin the wheel, make a deal match.
That'd be cool. Coal miner's glove, bro. You know how dangerous that is? Watch 92. They'll tell you.
My
I
final
noticed
things.
that Jake Roberts had like a cobra stuck on his neck at the end of that match. I noticed it the other day because I went back and accidentally like wasn't paying attention. And I like looked up and I'm like, Jake Roberts has a snake attached to his throat. And I was like, what is going on here? I saw Sting punch him in the kidneys
Yeah.
and then a snake on his neck. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
He got bit like a bunch of times in the ring, right?
I don't know. I know he made the Cobra chew on Macho Man's
Macho
arm.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
I
know that
think
Macho Man. I remember seeing the story where Macho Man made Jake Roberts get bit by the snake in the back before that. He's like,
right.
"Huh? You don't want a Macho Man gonna try to kill me or
Hmm.
whatever." So he made Jake take the snake first.
Hmm. But
But
I heard Jake also say, or maybe I heard somebody else say that Jake was like to mess with Macho Man was like riling up the snake even more.
oh yeah, he definitely did. After that, after he made the snake bite him, he was like, "All
Hmm.
right, I got you, motherfucker." So he definitely like got the snake super hot. So that
Yeah. But
but did you know how many
um,
snakes he had? You know how many Damians there were? Did you ever see him talk about that?
I heard that there were a bunch, and didn't he like
Yeah.
lose one in luggage once?
Well, dude, you're not supposed to really travel with snakes like that. They
Right.
don't do well in the air. So like after like every two trips, they had to get him a new snake from this like snake farm guy. They were just always like sending him a new Damien.
Poor Damians.
PETA wouldn't like that, man.
Mm-mm.
Wouldn't fly today.
Peter wanted like a lot of things today.
They wouldn't like your jersey.
Look, man. Peter wanted like my jersey. Fine, since you're gonna bring it up.
You thought you were gonna go a whole show without it?
You know what? Peter wanted like your jersey,
Oh yeah, mine is
your
the bad
Vic
one.
jersey.
Yours is the rehabilitated one.
This man.
Hold. Do you want me to
Since you're giving me grief for it, I am wearing a Michael Vick
You know what? I'm gonna go get
Eagles
mine.
jersey.
I'm gonna go get the real.
And where's
one.
Odin? Where's the cutest dog in the world? Come here, Odie. Where's he?
Wait, where is
You're
my
lucky
Vic
that
jersey?
you're lucky that he's sleeping.
I'm looking for my real Vic jersey. You might be lucky.
Look, this is
Son of a
bad
bitch.
for airtime.
I found it.
Point
Hang on.
is, the man has done a hell of a lot for both just dogs and also for youth and just communities, both in Philly and Atlanta, and I'm pretty sure other places too, but places where he's resided and has a following, he's done a hell of a lot. He's done a hell of a lot in Philly. And people can say, oh, that's just because he was in jail. And it's like, you know what? He doesn't need to do any of that at this point. He does it because he's learned something. And that's why I like this jersey, because he's somebody who learned something and he's doing good for his community and for himself at this point. And that's why I still wear it to this day.
Free Mike Vick.
In addition to the fact that he was just so killer when he was on the Birds and he was throwing the ball.
Remember when he made those two guys for the Vikings run into each other when he was a Falcon? That was the shit.
Dude, when he was playing for the Vikings, when he was playing for the Falcons, he was like,
he was literally a video game come to life. It was insane.
Yeah, and people can make comparisons to.
Did you notice I spilled something on my computer and I'm trying to like
No,
pretend
did
like it
you?
didn't happen? Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I did. I'm surprised it hasn't shorted out and died on me.
Oh,
It's okay. Spilled my soda pop on my computer like a dickhead.
we're gonna wrap this up so you can clean it.
I've already-
My thoughting words.
Your thoughting words. Tell me
See
what your
this,
thoughting
I
words
do this all
are.
the time, man.
What are your thoughting words?
My parting words or my parting thoughts are for Halloween Havoc are that, first of all, I agree with you. Spin the wheel, make a deal match needs to happen. As far as anything
Who would
else,
you put in it?
I don't care. Don't care. Maybe it's a unique way of.
Dexter Loomis has got to be involved, right?
What if it's a way of creating
And something on
a
Halloween Havoc.
championship title match where it's a unique spin the wheel, make a deal, where the inside wheel is all the champions, and then there's a middle wheel that's all the gimmicks, and then there's an outside wheel for potential challengers.
That'd be cool. I would like to see Finn Balor, the Demon, make a reappearance. Finn Balor's Demon character come up at Halloween Havoc. If you're gonna do it, why not do it there, right?
Yeah, who would you feed him to? Or who would you feed?
Yeah, who would you feed to him?
Feed to him. That's
It
it.
doesn't matter. He's gonna go over if he's wearing the Demon paint, so it doesn't really matter. So just.
Do you bring it back after such a long absence just for a.
I mean, it's Halloween Havoc. I think if you're gonna, well, I mean, it makes sense to do it, but fuck it. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to do that really that much anymore. I don't think anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think Dexter Loomis has to be involved somewhere because he's very.
Loomy! My mom calls him Loomies.
Because it's Loomis from Halloween Havoc and Dexter from Dexter. So
right.
you got, you got to have him. That's as serial killer and Halloweenish as possible.
I want to see everybody in the audience wearing costumes. I want to see a Halloween party where there's a food fight. I want to see oh my God, there was one other thing.
Specific and weird.
And it's look, it's low hanging fruit, man. It's not going to take a whole lot to win me over. I love Halloween. I love being festive for any holiday. I mean, I get excited for St. Patrick's Day, but not just like, oh, let's drink. Like, I listen to Irish music in my house and I put up like Irish decorations. I like Flag Day. I like Arbor Day. Like weird stuff like that. I like UN Charter Day. I like National Podcast Day, where we posted our recent interview with the wonderful, amazing Shazza McKenzie, who has her own great podcast, That's So Shazza, that's available on all major platforms.
Are you a fan of Columbus Day?
You know what? I am a fan of Columbus Day, but I also am not in the least bit disappointed. As an Italian American, I'm not the least bit disappointed with them kind of de-recognizing it
They
for
don't have the
everything.
festivals there like they do in The Sopranos.
You know, they might still in certain neighborhoods do stuff for Columbus Day because I know in certain areas in Philly it's still big time. But I don't really know because again, it's the kind of thing where there's touche. That's one where I always like saying, "Oh, it's Columbus Day," but I don't really do anything to
You don't
celebrate
fly
that.
that flag, huh? Yeah.
Mm-mm. So you got me. But when it comes to Halloween, I love Halloween.
Same.
So look, it's I'm gonna watch that NXT episode anyway. If they're gonna call it Halloween Havoc, I'm just more excited to see Halloween related stuff. You know, like it can be easy. Make some spooky decorations in the
CWC,
right.
Capital Wrestling Center.
The Cruiserweight Classic. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna call it the Cruiserweight Classic.
I think Escobar would be okay with that.
Santos Escobar.
I was so I always forget the guy's name that ran out and helped Swerve. It's the guy that used to be like Mutati or something like
Yeah,
that,
dude,
right?
that was one part where I completely blanked out.
I
I
forgot
saw
what
that.
that guy's name used to be. It was something like something Mutati or dude. You know
Oh,
what I'm talking about? That
oh
guy.
man, I feel bad that I'm blanking.
And they repackaged him and gave him a new name.
Did they? Okay. Because I saw somebody was coming out, and for a second, I saw him like in the scuffle, and it looked like he was wearing dress clothes. And I know that
No,
Legato.
he was wearing uh
Well, let
like
me finish.
gear.
I know that Legato del Fantasma was
Yeah.
out there with him, and then I was like, "Oh, I don't know if that's him or not," because that could have been them scuffling around. But it looked like Robert Stone at one point. But
I don't
again,
think so. I
I
think it
was
was
like,
just that one guy.
"Okay,
This came out. You had all of Santos's guys, and then I think you just had one guy that came out to help Swerve, which was whoever they're calling that guy now. I can't really
right."
remember what his name is.
Well,
But
the Legato is Joaquin Wild, and
yeah,
I
and
always
you didn't
blank
know
on.
that was DJZ, man. Zima Ion.
Mm.
Joaquin. You didn't know that, remember? We talked about this during the draft, or that we did went nowhere, our nowhere draft. I was like, you don't know who this guy is? He was DJZ. That's Zima Ion. You're like, what's a Zima Ion? I was like, God damn it.
Hey, you gotta blow me up, man.
Because, I mean, you need to know who Zima. How do you not know Zima Ion, bro?
Dude, I live in a bubble. You don't understand how much more I've expanded just because of this show.
Yeah.
I live in a
Yeah.
little bubble.
You don't want to look. You don't want to look bush league for the 17 fans we have. That one guy's going to call you out on shit. You need to
I hope he
tighten up, bro.
does. I
I
need
hope he
that.
does
I
too.
love that actually.
Oh, I
I want
love
to
that
get him
guy.
on sometime
I
soon.
love that guy.
I
I
haven't
want him
heard
to
from
do
him
our.
recently.
Well, I want him to do our to be like our Stanford Steve for prop bets and gambling and stuff.
Oh, I actually, you know what? I need to reach out to him. Let's get off
Yeah,
and
because he knows
because
all
this
about
isn't.
like yeah,
But I
dude.
do need
Well,
to reach out to him about that because
anyway,
he
where
was
can we
talking to me
find
about
us?
that.
Yeah, get on to him. Find that because that guy will be a good segment to have. I like
All right,
that guy.
we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it
Where
up.
can we find everybody?
Always be safe. Wrap it up, and you can find us
Where
on
can we find you?
BODYSLAM_pod on Twitter. You can find me personally, Dom_Malin on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Cass is at Cass CASSHOOOLE on
Uh-huh.
Twitter.
Yeah,
We're
Castle.
also on BodySlamNet on Instagram, BodySlam.net on Instagram.
And Body Slam Net on Twitter. That's for the website. Yep.
But obviously, if you're
We're
watching
on
us, we're on
Facebook. We're on
YouTube. If
Facebook.
you're,
Facebook/ Body Slam Pod.
but you can also listen to us on all major platforms. But I would suggest coming on to YouTube and listening to us on YouTube. I think
Yeah,
this is the best
you
platform.
can see us. You can visualize us. But for those of you that like to listen to you while you're driving or something, you can't really. That's not safe. So
That's true.
check us out on the Spotify's, the podcast platforms that we do as well. Everybody has preferred way, man.
Mm-hmm. And keep listening because we have some fun things coming up, some fun
Oh
interviews.
yeah, we got
We
some.
I got way too nervous and passed out on Thunder Rosa last week, so we had to reschedule on her, and she's
Yeah,
wonderful enough to agree to do so. So we have her coming up next week. If you have any questions for her, get them to us.
more time to get questions to us. We're gonna do that again.
Mm-hmm. We
So
have
we'll
some
get
other
some
great
more.
things coming up that we'll announce later on. But
Yeah,
let's just wrap it up. It's been a
wrap it up,
long,
and we'll be
long
back in a few
day.
days. We'll be back in a few days.
Shout out to the Birds, who are now at first place in the NFC East with their
Caw-caw.
1-2-1
Caw-caw.
record. And let's take him out with our award-winning outro, buddy.
All right, you ready?
Podcast, podcast, podcast with Cash and Down.
The
The push.